Okay, students, today we're going to talk about how to do an annotated bibliography. Over the last couple of weeks, we've talked about where to find sources, how to look for sources. We've talked about how to select a research topic, how to focus your research topic with a thesis statement and a research question. We talked about, of course, types of bibliographies. And now we're going to talk about a specific kind of bibliography called the annotated bibliography. So here we go. We have an outline. Um, let's just go ahead and jump into this. So we already learned that a bibliography is a list of all the sources you have used in the process of researching your work. And I've given you some examples in MLA, Chicago, and APA. So that's the definition of a bibliography. So now what is an annotated bibliography? An annotated bibliography is a list of citations to books, articles, and documents. Each citation is followed by a brief paragraph, usually about 150 words, which is descriptive and evaluative of the annotation. That's called the annotation, the summary of the source and a bit of evaluation of it. The purpose of the annotation is to inform the reader of the relevance, accuracy, and quality of the sources that are cited. And of course, I've already discussed with you Chicago, APA, and MLA. They have slightly different terminology and they use slightly different formatting. For the purposes of this class, you can follow any of them. Just make sure you look it up and you're actually following their approved formatting example. Here's some examples. I believe this is MLA, but you see at the top there's the citation. Normally the citation is in hanging style, so the first line extends out to the left and then the other two are indented. Then you have your annotation below that. And the annotation should basically summarize and evaluate the source. Here's another example, formatted a tiny bit differently. In this one, the annotation is lined up with the indentation above. And you see the author's name is always flushed with the end, but all the other text below is indented. Format the bibliographic information of the source according to your style, which is, again, MLA, Chicago, or APA. The first few sentences are summaries of the source. The last sentence concisely states the relevance to your research topic. So this is actually a good example for you to follow. So what kinds of information can be included in what kinds of information can or should be included in the annotation? So typically you might include the author information, the author's purpose in writing the source, the audience, intended audience information. Is there any author bias in the work? Information source, where did you get this citation? What is the author's conclusion? How does he or she justify the conclusion? And how does this source relate to other works? The time frame it was written, any other significant thing that you might want to include. This is a more complete list of what you might include if you want to be exhaustive. However, for the purposes of this class, we can have a simpler outline or simpler amount of information. You basically need to answer 3 questions. Why is this source useful for you? What is it about? That's a summary. And how do you plan to use it? There we go back to the why, what, and how. 3 out of the 5. Why, what, and how. Answer those 3 questions at least. Here's some additional resources. You can look up sample annotated bibliography. There's a rubric. There's basic elements for a good annotated bibliography and a YouTube tutorial. Okay, and here's my annotated bibliography for one of the classes I'm teaching this semester on Christianity in the Caribbean. And here is the work, and here's my annotation. Actually, it's a little bit too extensive. I should have shortened it down a little bit. Why should you do an annotated bibliography? Well, our memories are unreliable without notes. So an annotated bibliography is a great way to read through a large amount of literature and take good notes. The more work you do on an annotated bibliography, the less work you have to do for the final project for the literature review. If you've done a well done and complete annotated bibliography, the literature review will almost write itself. So the more you do on this assignment, the easier it will be for you at the end of the semester. Okay, that's all. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll talk to you later.